Today, I'm going to show you how to lay out the book project. I'm going to do this in several segments so that you don't have to watch such a long video in one sitting. So the first thing that I want to show you is in the book project zip file that's in Blackboard, you're going to have these elements. You're going to have the background links, the cat links, and the book text. So here you have way more than you need. I gave you extras, so don't feel like you have to use every single last one of them because you don't. So choose the ones you want to use. I would not reuse any of them, but you can certainly use as many as you like. Okay, cat links. I have given you pretty much just the cats that you need. There might be a couple of extras in there. Feel free to use those if you want. I have this laid out in a certain order. And normally I would give you total creative license to put things in any order you want to. And I am on the backgrounds. But as far as the cat links and the text, I want you to follow along with how I've got it laid out because that's how you would get it if you were a graphic artist. Sometimes you're given complete freedom to put things where you want, but in this case, since there is an author and an illustrator involved, I'm going to suggest that I'm going to tell you that you have to do it in the order that I did it. It gives you less things you have to decide, so it's really easier. Okay, let's look at the book text. Here we go. So the book text is laid out by page. So you're going to have 28 pages all the way through. That's how many pages you're going to have in your document. So starting with page 1, that's considered the cover. And I'm going to bring to class several little golden books so you can kind of see how I came up with this particular layout. If you are watching this and you didn't have a chance to see a little golden book, just look them up. They're all over online and you'll be able to find some kind of an example. Okay, page 2, IFC stands for inside front cover. And so this is just a little box that you have this in. I'll show you that more in a minute. Page 3 is basically a title page that tells all the legalese and all that kind of stuff. And it also has the title of the book again and who wrote it. And I want you to put your name here, designed by, because you will be the designer. I changed the name to, this is all fictitious, by the way, a big book. Instead of a little golden book, I'm just going to call it a big book. No such company. There are self-publishing, but no such companies, and so on and so on. Fake numbers, all that kind of stuff. Then we start with page 4, and we start laying it out. And remember, I want you to remember that page 4 is on the left-hand side and page 5 is on the right-hand side. And so if you've got an even number, left-hand side, the odd number is on the right-hand side. So these are going to be, and I've kind of messed up some of the text here. Sorry about that. I'll fix that before I upload this. So here is the text. So you do not put like cover and inside front cover, or anything that's in a parentheses is not part of the text. That is guidance for you. You need to, you just need to, I'm going to go ahead and fix this while I'm talking. Sorry. Okay, so don't put this in your book. Do not put anything that's in parentheses in your book. Okay, so we go on and on till we get to the back, inside back cover. So that one is going to be blank. There are things in little golden books, but I just didn't feel like that I wanted to have you do all of that text layout. So that one is intentionally blank. The back cover, if you look at the little golden books back cover, they've got characters and they've got a little paragraph. I've written a very short one. You can lay that out as you feel free. Feel free to do that. And the front cover also, I am not giving you any other than just having the title. You're free to lay that out however you want using, and you can reuse on the front and back covers. And also there's a little image here on the page 3. We'll go over that in class. Okay, so let's get to, here we go, InDesign. So first of all, I'm going to do a new file, and I'm going to say, let's don't work in picas, let's work in inches. Okay, so I have this book already laid out, and I believe it's 8 inches, not, I think it's almost square. Let me get out my ruler just to make sure. A ruler is your best friend. Measure many, many times, not just twice. And it is 7 3/4. Is that right? I had a different book I was measuring before. Let me measure this a little bit better. Let's call it 8. And yes, 6 5/8. So if you look at your little fractions to decimals, this is 6 5/8. And then we have 8 inches for the other dimension. We want 28 pages, facing pages. We're going to leave the margins as they are, going to leave the bleeds as they are, and so we're ready to create. Okay, let me close this up a little bit. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to reset my essentials because I always put extra things in there. But just to make sure that everybody has the same starting place, we're going to do that. So Control, there we go. So this is page 1. So this is the inside front cover. And then we can, so we do have the title here. So let's go ahead and put in our text. So I am just going to place it as if I were placing a book project. There we go. I'm going to place it just as if we were, and I just placed that right in there. Okay. So this is all the stuff. So you can do it like we've done and just go in and delete this stuff. But I would suggest that you pull this over to the side, and I am going to change this preference because I have got this back to a dark interface. Here we go. Okay, so now I've got a little more contrast here. So instead of putting this in here and doing the threads like we did in the magazine layout, there's not a lot of text, so I'm going to copy, cut, and paste. So right now I'm just laying out the text. I don't want to start designing or anything yet. Okay, so then I just drag this with me, or you can just select it and cut and paste again. Now I'm not copying, I'm cutting. Okay, so this one is the inside front cover. I'm gonna say this belongs to, so cut and paste. So this next page is the page number 3. We are not going to put anything on the master page. I'm sorry, the parent page. We're not going to put, kids' books are not numbered. Every page is going to be completely different. So there's just no point in going to the extent of doing anything to the parent page because there's just not going to be anything in there. All right, so all of this part right here goes on this page. All right, so I cut and I paste. Now you can leave all of this other stuff up here, but, and I really have some problems with some of I must have had a soft return. Okay, so I know what I'm doing. I'm going and getting my paragraph is what I'm doing. There we go. So cut and paste, and then cut, paste. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying some of this out. I'm going to decide about the front cover and the back cover, well, when I get finished with the inside, so that all of them will match. I don't want to get started and do something that I have to redo the cover for. All right, so I'm going to start with page 2, which is the inside front cover. This book belongs to, so I'm just going to make a shape. You don't have to do anything super fancy for this. I'm going to give myself a color swatch thing so I can find colors. I'm going to make this just a white with a little stroke around it. Not that I'm just trying to not intentionally not do exactly what they did on the little golden book. I want it to be cleaner. So I have made myself 2 circles. Now I've copied one circle and then the other because I want a hard shadow. I don't want to have one of the effects. Okay, so I'm going to make this totally black. It doesn't do like Illustrator. So let's just say this way. All right, so I'm going to get it kind of the way I want it. Kind of like it's got some dimension. All right, now I'm going to group those. And I'm going to find the center of the book. Okay, so this book belongs to, I think I'm going to use something that we haven't really done in InDesign. I'm going to put a text on a path. And we do have that here. So I'm just going to select my text and I'm cutting it so that I've got it copied on my pasteboard. So I'm just gonna pick right there and do this. Doesn't work exactly the way that Illustrator does. Okay, that was weird. But see, you don't have to worry about this. You can change it around. I'm going to use my actual controls here so that it's I'm going to select all of this, and now the time has come to think about text. My first text. Not going to use Minion Pro. So here I'm going to just pick something that's fun, because with this kind of a design, you don't have to pick something that's really formal or professional. You can actually pick something that's fun. And so I am going to pick something that kind of fits cats. I could choose some of here's a felt marker. I think I'm going to use felt marker. And I'm going to do this one as wide. I'm going to make this bigger. This big book belongs to. Okay. We have a problem here though, in that when we use type on a path in Illustrator, when you put the text into that path, it erases whatever color it's in. However, InDesign does not do that. So we're going to have to click none in order to get that line to go away. So I am going to just move it around so that it's even. It's not going to really be something you can use the align tool for, because this bumps it out and makes it funny. You're going to be aligning to this whole thing. And I really want to align to, well, anyway, I did it by hand. So I'm going to look and see how that looks. Not going to add any color just yet because we've got the backgrounds. All right. So some cats. I'm going to go ahead and make myself a style, a paragraph style. New style. I'm going to call this headings. Oh, there we go. Based on no paragraph style. Got the felt marker. It's 30 points. That's a good one to do. I'm going to make sure there are no hyphenations. And I'm just going to leave all of this alone for now. So I've got headings. So I need to put that into headings so that if I change it, it's going to affect it. So I'm going to change that into headings. I'm going to get rid of some of these. Let me just show you what they are. Type, hidden characters. You can see that since I just straight pasted it into the book without checking and eliminating all of the paragraph styles and things that came from from Word. So I have to come in here and do some cleaning up. Okay. Just going to get rid of all of that. So if you work it out correctly, that means that you won't have as much work to do in InDesign. All right, I want to make this a little more legible because it's going to be pretty small. So I'm going to choose all of it and let's just see what looks good. I'm going to use Futura. Not going to use condensed. I think I'm going to use medium. I don't like that. That looks really weird together. Let's just go for some Arial. And I don't want Arial black. Let's go down to where Arial lives. Regular. I think I'm going to make this 11 with the 14-inch, with the 14-point leading. I am going to make this part centered. Oops, centered. Now, referring back to the little golden book, at this point, we've got a lot of room. So I'm going to fix a quick paragraph style. I'm going to say Arial 11 centered. Okay. So this is what this is. So all of this, I want it to be flush left. So I'm going to call this Arial 11 flush left. And see, we still, oops, I did not do that. So I need to go to flush left. I need to change the center to, always remember to take out that hyphenation. Okay, so this I'm going to, let's see, this needs to be in Arial centered. All of this needs to be in Arial flush left. So we can just go, let me get this page open. We can just go return, 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 all that kind of stuff to, whoops, and I'm even doing it in the wrong space. We can do it just by manually returning, or we can do our normal kind of close up the box, hit the red square, and then put it on the page where you want it. Okay. So this actually would not, this paragraph would actually not hurt if it were smaller. Because if in the book, all the legalese and that sort of thing is made much smaller. So let's go to this one. And you know, we may need that for something else, so let's just cancel out. Let's choose all of this and make it about 8 point. That is pretty tiny. And then we'll put 11 point. I'm going to return that so we have a better looking form here. And I'm going to put ISBN up here. Okay. It looks the way I want it to look. So I'm just going to pull all of this down here. And I'm not going to close this up completely because I don't want it to say that I've got some text missing. So right here, I'm going to put an image. And I'm not really sure what image I'm going to put yet, so I'm just going to leave it blank. Now, the reason that, and we're going on to page 4, the reason that I left these separate, because there is no extras, show text frames. Now here you can see we've got a text frame. Here we do not. And the reason I did that is because it's a very short word here. So I'm going to fit this to what the graphic is. I'm not going to try and make this some kind of thing that's going to flow, and I just don't want it to flow. I want those to stay exactly where I put them. So this one, if I were to open this up, I'm going to have some text flowing up, but I can deal with that because it's all on the same page. But here I don't want my text flowing to the next page. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make a text paragraph based on headings. I'm going to make the words just a little bit smaller and have, I'm going to go ahead and just say 30. No, let's make it 27, just to keep consistent. Okay, and I didn't name it. Oh my goodness. I can rename it here, or I can edit the paragraph, and then I can name it. So I'm going to say text. Always name your paragraph styles. Nothing is more frustrating than to have to go and choose things just to see what they are because you haven't named them, so that it just wastes a lot of time. Okay, text. So I am not using Comic Sans for a reason, because that's a big crazy no-no. One thing I'm going to do about the text is I am going to make this left. And now you notice it bumps it over there. We can just put everything at the bottom and at the top just for some kind of continuity at this point. Okay, text. And you'll notice that they do kind of bounce things around like this. Anything that's kind of similar, they do bottom, top type layout. Don't like that at all. So I'm going to say dress up, and I'm going to do a soft return. Okay, and at this point, I think I am going to move ahead so that we can make this a shorter one, but I'm going to go ahead and do everything, and I will just either speed it up or something. Okay, we're going to stop here and pick this up in another video. What I've done is I have made my book file. I have placed all of my text, and I have set my text styles. The next video is going to be about putting in the images and getting things designed. So until next time, I'll see you then.